Soldier, Pyro, Jane Doe. Some say that Pyro is Soldier's hard counter because of this, but others disagree because of this. However, the majority say that it depends on how you handle the situation. But wait, what if you don't know how to handle the situation? Don't fret, Lucky TF2 the Pyro main is here to help. Those stupid soldiers won't bother you anymore with their rockets, unless they're using hits. Anyway, let's begin. The first and most obvious way to counter a soldier is Air Blast, Air Blast, Air Blast, Air Blast. I can go on forever. I have too many clips of me shutting down soldiers. Anyway, the sheer amount of power you hold with just one button is unmatchable. You could literally prevent the soldier from just looking at you. I mean, look at this soldier. He doesn't even want to play anymore. So you basically have three options when a rocket approaches you. You could A, reflect it at the soldier and blow him up, resulting in a mini crit. You could B, take that rocket right to the face if you aren't good at air blasting rockets to make sure that it won't hit someone more important. Or you could C, create space between you and the soldier. I don't know about you, but it's easier for me to air blast a rocket when I have time to react rather than trying to predict when to leave its barrel, so I can instantly, if you do happen to struggle with air blasting projectiles, there's a really good video on the internet that explains it very well. Wait, what's that? Well, that's not good. If the opposing soldier remembers that his shotgun won't be used against him, use your shotgun against him. Fire damage won't cut it when he can just two-shot you at point-blank range. So, you have to fight fire with fire, or bullets with bullets in this case. If you meet the soldier at close range, just apply your basic DM skills. Throw in some jukes and make sure to hit your shots. If he's at mid-range, try to chip away his health with your shotgun if you know he's low or he's missing his shots. Or find a way to close the distance, like detonator or another stray rocket. You could try to bait a rocket out of him as well, but it mostly only works against newer players. You see, when a soldier sees you with a shotgun now, they connect the dots in their head and come to the conclusion that
shotguns can't air blast my rockets back. I should shoot a rocket at him.
What the soldier doesn't know is that I have a Q button on my keyboard. But more experienced soldiers realize this and just stick to their guns. They're non-explosive ones. Some soldiers may just try to dive bomb you because they think it's harder to hit them with the team swapped rocket. And it is. I'm not disagreeing. Unless you're a god at reflecting and hitting air shots, there is little to no chance that you could counter the dive bombing soldier, at least without killing him. If your intent is not to kill him, then you need to get away from him, or get him away from you. But when he's in the air, pay attention to these three things: his gun, firing pattern, and ammo usage. Did he switch to a shotgun when he landed to finish you off? If he did, whip out your shotgun and do your best to kill him faster. If he didn't switch off of his shotgun, then there's a huge chance that he's gonna fire off another rocket, and you might not be able to stop it. So, we prepare when he's in the air. See if you can find a pattern while he's shooting in the air. I know, this tip is kind of a stretch, but it saved my butt in a handful of situations, so I don't think it hurts to put it in here. Did he fire his rockets one after the other? If he did, there's a highly likely chance that he's going to keep his finger on the left mouse button, so make sure to retaliate properly. But what if you don't even need to use prediction to counter the dive bombing soldier? If you do happen to know a soldier's coming, try listening for the rockets that are being used to shoot the soldier through the air, similar to Soundsmith's tip on countering a soldier.
When fighting a soldier, it's important to have good awareness and listen for any sound cues that might indicate that he's jumping at you, notably the jumper sound and the whooshing sound. Just keep your eyes and ears peeled, you'll be fine.
If you hear him use some rockets before getting there, pay attention to how many he fires at you. For example, let's say this soldier uses 2 rockets to jump, one out of spawn and one to send him flying toward you. Now you know he only has 2 rockets left, so if he does happen to fire 2 rockets in the air, he's a sitting duck when he's next to you. Now for the proper anti-soldier loadout. As I said at the start, Air Blast is your best friend when it comes to countering a soldier. So instead of telling you which guns to use in your primary slot, I'll tell you which ones not to use, since it's pretty obvious what the 2 best primaries are. The most obvious flamethrower is the Flog. No air blast means no protection against rockets. The Dragon's Fury. Better than the Flog, but not much better. The air blast cooldown makes me cringe, because if you miss one air blast, you're kind of dead. The Backburner. Better than the previous 2 weapons, but I hate it. Only 4 air blasts until your primary can't be used? I'm not using that. For your secondary, your shotgun is going to be your best friend, a lot like air blast. They're all great, but when selecting your shotgun, it depends on the situation for the most part. Are there a lot of rocket jumping soldiers? Then use a reserve shooter. Are you getting really close to soldiers and need to switch to your shotgun fast and do more damage at close range? Use the panic attack. Are you looking for a shotgun that is particularly weaker in the 2 previous situations, but is all around more versatile? Use stock, and I guess a score shot because it's a score shot. And finally, your melee. I guess the power jack or the extinguisher? It's hard to recommend one when it really serves no purpose in countering a soldier. Remember, I'm recommending a specific loadout to counter a soldier, but there's not really a melee option that outperforms a shotgun in close quarters. because when you're in melee range, and this might come as a shocker to a lot of you, but an axe isn't a flamethrower. I know, it's crazy, and therefore can't reflect rockets, so the soldier just has to shoot one rocket at you to get you out of melee range, and one more to finish you off. So the power jack is pretty good for its speed boost, and if you're not really comfortable getting in breath-smelling distance of the soldier. But if you are comfortable getting that close, go ahead and use the extinguisher. A 143 damage mini crit does help a lot, especially when you can switch to your shotgun right after to finish him off. And yeah, that's all the tips I have to offer to counter soldier as Pyro. If you guys have any tips of your own, I would love to read them in the comments below. And before I end this video, I also just want to give a huge thanks to all of my viewers for 1,000 subscribers. I still can't get over how big this is. You guys are seriously the best. I can't thank you enough. Even at the time of this upload, I'm still so amazed how I could even get to this point. I will be doing a small 1K special where I answer some questions. So if you'd like to see something like that, leave some questions down below in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer them. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Create space between you and the soldier. I don't know about you, but it's easier for me to air blast a rocket when I have time to react rather than trying to predict when it will